What up, everybody out there in podcast land? Thank you for tuning in yet again to another episode of Ken and Ross present the Yeah I Said It podcast. We're expressing what our full capabilities to the might want us in correctional facilities, brainchild of my child. I'm the dad half of this operation. Boom, 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 boom. Ross Cooper, rocking the Buffalo hat. You know what it is. We're going to talk about that a little bit. But as always, I am rocking with the best. My co-host, please introduce yourself to the folk.
Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, what's good, everybody? Everybody's having a good day, year, month, day, hour, second, all that good stuff. If you watch no other platforms, please share with your friends, your families, your pets, the ghosts outside, the aliens that's about to invade World War III, all that good shit. And if you're watching on YouTube, please like, share, comment, subscribe, do all that good stuff. Because if you don't, it's gonna be a drought wherever you at.
Why are you wishing like one of the something about the revelations on folks, dog? Like,
It's already happened. I'm just saying, hey, if you might be saved by God if you do what I said. See, that's the thing. It's
here,
if
here
you
we
don't, if you do it, nothing will happen. I'm
here,
giving
here
you
we
an out.
go. Here we go. Which God though? Like, why
Any God.
Jesus,
I didn't specify.
Jesus,
Whatever you
which
believe. Jesus,
Yahweh?
Zeus, Shaquille O'Nealius. I don't care. Whoever you want.
God, this God. Um, we're gonna start here in the Midwest because things are a little wild. And now I'm looking at certain things and thinking things might be a little more wild than what we're being told. And we've talked about this quite a few times, maybe not at length, but the power of the media is an amazing thing. And I've said numerous times that social media does way more good than bad. People tend to forget you control, for the most part, what you see, right? It's the beauty of social media. You follow a whole bunch of big booty women, guess what your feed is gonna be next? A whole bunch of big booty women. Follow a whole bunch of lifting weights, guess what your feed is gonna be? A whole bunch of people lifting weights, right? But the cool part about social media is you get things from sources you wouldn't normally get from mainstream media. All right. So in Ohio, there was a train derailment, and I'm taking this right off the Washington Post. And there is what is being described as a toxic plume from Ohio train derailment. That's not good. This was February 3rd, and they're saying highly toxic chemicals released into the air, water, and ground in East Palestine, Ohio, near the Pennsylvania border. This is bad. This is bad. This is how so many horror movies have started. This is how Night of the Living Dead started, if I'm not mistaken. It was toxic chemicals, got into the water, woke up the dead. The rest you know is history. It's a joke. It's not really a joke at this point. Now, here's why I mentioned the media and the power of media. Deal with this information as you will. At this point, the EPA has said the air is safe to breathe. Okay. Norfolk Southern, the rail company, has pledged to clean it up. Ohio governor said Tuesday that he was not seeing the need for further federal assistance, though President Biden has offered it. Um, the next sentence is very concerning. Without the full extent of contamination known, however, environmental advocates have questioned the response. So let me get this straight. A train derails, toxic chemicals in the air, water, and ground. The EPA, Environmental Protection Agency, government agency, says, yeah, we cool. The governor has said, we cool. Even though Uncle Joe was like, yo, y'all good? Y'all need me to send some folk? We could, you know what I mean? Help clean up. And again, that sentence that catches my attention. The extent of contamination is unknown. Now, I don't claim to be a scientist here. I do know the English language pretty well, though. Let's see. Extent of contamination unknown. That's one side. We don't need any further assistance. The air is safe to breathe on the other side. I don't know. These things seem a little contradictory to me. Maybe it's me. You don't know the extent of contamination, but no, it's cool. Go ahead, breathe. Go for a run.
We don't
Drink the
know
water.
the extent, yeah, you can breathe. We just don't know how long you'll be breathing. That's the catcher.
50 cars involved, 11 hazardous materials. And I'm really also concerned, just media. What are the hazardous materials? I need some specifics.
I mean, I don't want to know. I hear hazards. I'm good.
Firefighters couldn't put the blaze out for days. 1,500 residents of the village, which is on the border of Ohio and Pennsylvania, were told to evacuate. Temperature change in one of the rail cars created the explosion. Let me see. Allow evacuation order, and the officials decided to allow the controlled release of vinyl chloride from the train car to avoid an explosion. It sent the plume of toxic fumes in the air. So, again, just how I understand English. The controlled release of vinyl chloride. I'll look that up at some point. But basically, they're saying, hey, we're going to let the gas out into the air to avoid everything blowing up. Who made that call? And believe me, I'm not laughing because this is a joke. I am laughing because, again, we tend to forget. We touched on it before. We tend to forget. Police are our employees and they kill us. Government officials are elected by the people and they're supposed to make decisions for the populace, for the greater good of people. I am curious, who made this call? Who said, just let it out in the air so it doesn't blow up everything? What other options were on the table? Anybody get notified? And I'm still looking to see what else. Like I see a whole bunch of this, whole bunch of what else is there? Drink bottled water. Officials tell Ohio town. I thought y'all said it was cool though. And I get and what you told me, it was worse. Didn't you mention to me like reporters was getting locked up and you couldn't? It was almost a gag order. You couldn't say nothing.
Yep. Orders getting locked up, all that stuff. And all this shit happened because corporate or company wanted to be greedy and save money. So they lied about what was on that train. And it derailed and crashed. And now we have a mini Chernobyl. Nice. Nice, nice,
Oh
nice.
wait, I have my answer. So vinyl chloride and butyl acrylate, where the primary chemical is released. Vinyl chloride burns, it releases hydrogen chloride and phosgene. In addition, ethyl acrylate and ethylene glycol monobutyl ether also leak from the train cars. I mean, one, that's a tongue twister. Two, that don't sound like something you need to be breathing in. Just if it ain't O2, oxygen, probably not something you need to be breathing in. And like I said, the government said, "Oh, it's cool. Y'all good. Y'all can breathe. You straight."
And like I said, it's not even the first leakage and fire of toxic fumes that's been happening around the whole country. This might be the worst one. So it's
Right,
like
and I
between
and
that, the balloons, the UFOs, China, what is going on? Are we under
I
attack and
t-
y'all not saying it? Or
I
what's
told
going on?
you, I told you, it was gonna get us somehow. You know, for those who decided not to take the jab, we can't be running around all willy nilly and free. Gotta put it in the air. Know what I mean?
Who
I,
want
I
that? The jab?
yeah, absolutely. If you're not gonna take it intravenously or take the jab, well, you're gonna make you breathe it in now. Just put
So
in the
all
air.
those chemicals are in the jab. That's what you're telling me.
I mean, we don't know what's in the jab. That was part of the problem. It was part of the problem.
Well,
We
if
know
that's
what we
if
were
that was in the
told.
jab, that don't sound good. You better hug
Right.
whoever took that shit, because that man, you might be a zombie in 2 years, boy. But nah, this is something is coming. Pause.
I,
But
I'm gonna
like
don't do that.
what? I don't know. I don't believe in coincidences. Like, why is this all happening now?
We'll see. Now I gotta circle back to where we started. It's not that it's happening now. It's that you know
Happening
about
now.
it now.
No, it's happening now. I mean, you can't even,
No, if
you couldn't, even if this happened before social media, you would not be able to hide all that shit. It's not happening in one place. It's happening damn near everywhere.
and how'd you find out about it? Mainstream media or social media?
Both.
Well, mainstream media has to talk about it because social media will. And mainstream media has to correct and prevent panic, so to speak, right?
Still
But
heard about it from both. So
you heard about it from both because you heard about it from one first. Because I promise you, if this was 1985, I didn't go that far. I can go if this was 1993 instead of 2023, we'd be getting the mainstream media spin. And as you can see, the mainstream media spin says, "Don't worry, everything's okay."
no, see, I'm not talking about them giving us the whole teeth. Of course, they're not gonna give us the full detail. I'm saying
Mm-hmm.
we still would know about it. Now, you take what you want to. You believe the media and you think, oh, toxic waste explosions, but you can breathe it. Like, I'm sure you hear that. You hear toxic waste and say, oh, it's breathable. It's like, wow, I can just jump in a volcano and nothing will happen to me. You must believe that too. But no, we will
And
still hear
and
about it. And this is all happening damn near simultaneously. All this shit is happening. I just want to know why.
mainstream media is controlled, sir. I don't believe we'd hear about it. There's a lot of things we did not hear about. Think about how many things that have happened within the last 20 years that we're just now hearing about because it's been unearthed. I do not trust that we would have heard about it to the degree that we do because people
Not the
have cell
degree.
phones.
I didn't say
No, I
degree.
don't know. I
I
don't think we'd
said
hear it
this. We
at
would
all.
know. No, yes, we would. We would hear about multiple fires everywhere around the
Sir,
country with toxic waste. We would hear about it.
you really think that,
We would hear about it.
okay, so let me help.
This ain't like
And here's
somebody
where
getting offed and then in another state you wouldn't hear about it. Like maybe it's
okay,
a
let
mass
me let
serial killer or
me let
something.
me
You wouldn't hear
explain to
about
you
that.
why I don't think you would have heard anything. Because one, this isn't Exxon Valdez. This isn't millions of gallons of oil in the ocean that everyone can see. These are isolated fires. That's one. Two, there is going to
No, it's not.
inevitably be
It's not.
a huge, massive lawsuit in about 10 years or so when people start growing extra eyeballs. Um,
Maybe someone now. But no, you wanna know why? Because this isn't a little forest fire. I don't know if you've seen pictures or videos, but dog, you can see that from damn near another state. You can see it from other states. You could just be on a plane flying over and see that shit.
And if the
So
people that were there didn't have phones or didn't have the ability to take camera footage, how we literally just said there's reports of reporters and media being locked up for talking about
there's
it.
always
If
a
there were no
whistleblower.
social media, if you could not to rewind time before you were born, if you had a big ass camera with a tape in it to tape these things, and that tape had to get from where you were to a news station, I promise you it would never make it.
It wouldn't make it. It's happening in too many places and it's too big to cover up. So I'm sorry. They're trying to clean it up, but you're not doing a good job by saying you start off the moniker of toxic waste and then you bring it on and say, but it's fine, you can breathe it. It's like, yeah, going to
But
swimming pool, the pool is black. Oh yeah, you can jump in it.
no, it's cool. We can. It's cool.
It's
Do you know
cool.
how much? Do you know how much chemicals in it? Not really, but I mean, it looked good. That's pretty
Right.
much what you're saying. Like
Like, okay, right, no.
amount of contamination unknown, but y'all good.
Right.
I'm like I'm not dumb.
Nah, I was
You can
born, just not yesterday. And yeah,
right.
that's crazy. That's crazy.
That's like seeing just going to somebody's house. They got like two or three big ass dogs. Do they bite? I mean, they haven't before, but you can pet them.
You
What?
said that.
What?
Nah.
I don't think so, but pet them and find out. What?
Nah, that's nah, at least there's a 50-50. This I don't think it's a 50-50. This is like you bring this shit. If
I
you ain't got
mean,
the X gene in you, you might be done, my boy. But
I mean, you
yeah.
might walk out that joint Deadpool. You never
That's what I
know.
said. If you ain't got the X gene in you, it might be a wrap, my guy. But yes, this is
I'm just,
wow. The world turning to hell is literally heaven. That's crazy. All right.
man. I
All
really,
right. We in the end
I'm
game
gonna.
now.
Okay, Doctor
Now,
Strange.
Doctor Strange.
Okay, Doctor Strange.
It's sad that all this shit is happening. Like, damn, can I go to another multiverse and all this shit ain't going on?
I
Please.
mean, I really hope that. I just hope we're wrong. I hope I'm wrong, and for once, I hope they're right because I really don't want to think in 5 to 10 years, or it's not a living dead or something crazy. Like these chemicals don't sound good. Now, I've looked them up, and they might be inert. It might be inert gas, but nothing, and I do mean nothing, is saying it's inert gas.
I
Everything's saying these
mean,
are highly toxic.
this is where I think they full of bullshit because the environment, everything around it is dying.
Well,
Fish, birds,
well.
like whole lakes is dead. So if they can't do it, why the you think we can? So yeah, like you would
I
have
just
a point if everything else, if all the other, because we keep forgetting that we're not the only moth that live here. So there's other creatures out there. So if they start
right.
dying, then that means okay, sums up. Because I don't know about you, but nature, especially animals, they're the first person people to know that stuff is up. So yeah, once they know stuff is up, if I see a whole crowd of birds or animals just running the opposite way, guess where I'm going? I'm going where they're
I
going.
follow them. Wherever they, I'm not of a certain persuasion
Because
that
like I
says,
said, I experienced it firsthand. I have a cat, and we had an earthquake so many years ago, and he knew about it before I did. He planted his nails in and hunched over, and he was like, "What the fuck?" And then a couple seconds later, earthquake. I was like, "Oh shit!" It's all right. See, this is why I already trust nature, bro. When I see a whole bunch of animals and it looks spooky, I'm going the other way, my boy.
I'm
I'm
out.
trying to tell you. Oh,
Oh boy. So we're going from Ohio to Michigan. We're going to stay up there. And tragically, there was a mass shooting at Michigan State University a few days ago.
hmm.
Um, at the time of our recording, I don't think there's been a motive or anything. I'm not going to look up all of the super details. There were casualties. I do believe only three at this point. The thing that got me, and if this doesn't make you raise an eyebrow, I don't know what will. Um, there's a young lady that was at Michigan State University when this mass shooting occurred, and this is her second. You know why? Because she's a Sandy Hook survivor. She detailed what it was like living through that. Like she literally has fractures, PTSD, post traumatic stress type fractures, and of course, obviously freaks out in certain situations, right? What are the odds? Well, apparently, increasingly greater now. You live through one mass shooting to only to have to live through it again.
As an
You lived
adult.
through a mass shooting at a school as a kid, and you go to college to have another mass shooting.
That's how villains are made.
If this ain't a villain origin story,
This is the villain or just that's not funny. I'm just saying, boy,
like, and I
you
really
play
wish
some
we were kidding
suits,
because
but watch your back, boy. You play it.
listen, I'm just so we have really reached a point where people are surviving through two mass shootings. Two.
I mean,
I'm just dumbfounded.
I literally think the U.S. government took Cameron's fucking line to heart. Like niggas get shot, ain't they beat? I'll be all right. Like what? like I said, I knew nothing was going to change when kids got shut up twice, twice.
Twice.
So, so like the first time, second time, still nothing. It's like, yeah, well, we already knew you didn't care about kids, but I thought that might help, but it didn't help. It just
Hmm.
made the
No.
NRA stick whatever they stick up your dairy ends even higher to make sure nothing happens. So yeah, there we go.
Yeah. And I'm just like, I I'm fortunate enough to have not survived any, but I can't imagine like the panic because, like I said, for all of the Second Amendment nut riders, here's the thing: you don't see it coming. You're walking in Walmart in the frozen vegetable section, and all of a sudden you hear gunshots. So all of this, like I said, all of this, I got my gun just in case. Just in case, what, homie? Because again, if I promise you, if I pull the numbers, all of the, I said I had a conversation a few days ago with a buddy of mine, and we were talking about guns, and he was thinking about how he feels so much safer given where he lives having guns just in case. All it is just in case. It don't happen. You don't kill the robber. You don't kill the person that's coming to maul you and rape your judge, assault your children and your family. That doesn't happen. You kill your cousin. You forgot you gave him a key, and they walk in at 3 o'clock in the morning drunk. Oh my God, it's an intruder, and you kill your cousin. And it's like it's sad because that's the first thing I thought about when the Roots, probably my favorite rap group ever. The name of one of their albums is "And Then You Shoot Your Cousin." Now, again, it's not directly related to this. It's a beautiful concept album, but sadly, the first thing I thought of with "And Then You Shoot Your Cousin" is, yep, that's pretty much what happens. That's pretty much what happens. But you got this arsenal. But when the government takes over, and it doesn't happen. You know what does happen? Mass shootings. Somebody has a bad effing day and decides to take it out on everybody else. And I'm like, you said something before. I thought it was kind of cruel, but hey, if it's just too much for you, unalive yourself. I don't know. Don't take this to other innocent people.
See, I didn't be saying to say be cruel, but I'm being serious. Like, yo, ain't no point taking other people with you because most of these recent ones they killed themselves afterwards. I'm like, that is you such a coward. Like, bro, if you got beef with yourself and your life, trust me, I understand that. But why take it on other people? They got nothing to do with nothing, bro. Take it
Right,
out on yourself.
right.
I mean,
And I'm
first
just
try to
like,
get help, of course. That doesn't help. Hey, do what you gotta do. Just leave everybody else out.
I don't. But this young woman has survived two school shootings. Two.
Yeah,
You
I,
gotta start. I can't even imagine. I can't imagine.
I would probably leave this country if that was me. I'd be
Yeah,
because like I
yeah.
said,
I
but
mean,
this
I
is the
just
main country that has this problem. You can go to
it
Europe
really
or
is.
so I would leave because I this. Hey, don't tempt fate. You were 0 for 2. It's not go 3 for 3. So hey, I say if I
I
was her,
don't.
I'd get the hell out of here. Go to
Yeah,
Canada.
I just.
At least you close, kinda.
Well, it goes to the bubble that we talk about that a lot of American kids don't understand. A lot of what we deal with, the answers are not the answers are already being modeled for us. No other country has the amount of shootings we do. What are they doing?
Ban guns.
Other modernized countries have some form of universal health care, and as such, their populace is healthier. Our healthcare system is for profit. How's that working out?
Oh, nice for profits.
Yeah, I mean, as a type 2 diabetic, one of the medications I take is Ozempic. You probably don't know this, but a lot of people don't know this. Ozempic is a diabetic medication. It is designed to help stabilize my blood sugar. One of the side effects, side effects is weight loss of 8 to 10 pounds over X amount of weeks. Because some moron influencer, I think it was a Kardashian. If it's not, I apologize. Went on TikTok or whatever and said, it's a weight loss drug. Give you three guesses what happened.
Sold out.
Yeah. So people who actually need it now can't get it. I had to call 3 different pharmacies and wait a few days before I could actually get a refill.
And
And
luckily
I
you
can
didn't
tell
die.
you, and I can tell you, you don't get weight loss. Not to mention on the flip of that, I'm diabetic. I have to inject myself, right? Are you going you so y'all willing to inject yourself with a diabetic drug that you don't need because the side effect is weight loss. And because it wasn't tested through the FDA for weight loss, it's not a weight loss drug.
I mean, I don't
So,
trust the FDA for everything either, but I hear what you're saying.
oh, of course, of course. I mean, the EPA just said, no, go ahead, breathe the air, y'all good. So,
Right? See?
that should tell you something.
Like the FDA says, yeah, you can eat a little small percentage of feces and you'll be good. Like, oh, I'm good. Yeah, I'm good.
We go.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
yeah, the side effect is that. So
Wow.
I just, yeah, wow.
I'm
But no, but
surprised.
I circling back, like, yeah, the solutions this country needs, a lot of it is outside of its borders, and we just refuse to look, or powers that
Greed.
be refuse.
It's greed. That's what it is. We ain't even got to sugarcoat shit. It's greed and power. That's what it is.
Yeah, yeah, true. Because I mean, I don't know. I just, my heart is broke. You survived Sandy Hook, only to have to survive this, and I,
I don't know if there's any type of therapy you can do for that. Like back to back. Ooh, because you might have just started getting over it. Oh, I might not hit, but it just to relive it again as an adult. All this
yeah,
happening before your brain even fully develops. Yeah. Oh Lord.
I can't,
You
man.
need to get out of
That's
here.
yeah. Speaking of school shootings, well, not shootings, but mass shootings. Give me 2 seconds here. Let me adjust my lighting because it's getting dark. Give me one moment, but I'm still here with you.
Mm,
But the reason I'm wearing the hat, of course, is because I am from where? Buffalo, New York. And back in May, there was a mass shooting in my hometown. Um, and quite a few people were killed. And this person has been sentenced to life without the possibility of parole. I think I'm good with that. I think I'm good with that. Um, I guess my thing is what was said in court, and you saw what I sent you. Like this, this really sounded like a prepared statement.
of course it was.
Maybe it was, but 19 years old, and This is his quote. Um, I'm very sorry for all the pain I forced the victims and their families to suffer through. I'm very sorry for stealing the lives of your loved ones. I cannot express how much I regret all the decisions I made leading up to my actions on May 14th.
Hmm.
Kid's name is Peyton Gendron or Gendron. Um, I did a terrible thing that day. I shot and killed people because they were black.
Hmm.
Looking back now, I can't believe I actually did it. I believe what I read online and acted out of hate. I know I can't take it back, but I wish I could, and I don't want anyone to be inspired by me in what I did. If that does not sound like a beautifully prepared statement, hit all of the points. This was done in hate. I was radicalized online. Um, Please don't copy me. The three main points here. Three main points.
A little bit late, Mike. Cause that's why I remember because he live streamed the shit.
Right.
So it's not like this wasn't he premeditated it and tried to push the agenda.
I'm
So
just that
yeah, I'm sorry, I don't believe that. That's definitely a
I
written.
don't I don't yeah, I don't believe that was written by him.
It's all right, burn the hell, motherfucker. And
Yeah.
then
And
next,
I don't believe I just don't believe you're sorry. I just to me that was a statement to cover all the points. Don't I was I'm a hate monger, I'm a racist.
mhm.
Okay.
Murder, mass murder. Yeah, okay, that's cool.
I was radicalized online.
Mhm. Yeah,
Okay.
hmm,
And please don't do what I did. All right.
yeah, that's fair. I agree with that statement. I
I
just
mean,
don't
I'm
believe
just
it. But either
I
way,
just
the damage
I
is
just
done.
don't believe this. I just don't believe the I'm sorry part.
I don't really care. People sorry or not. It's already happened. So now we move forward. You're gonna be at the bottom of the cell until you die. And
That'll be
hopefully,
nice.
the caveat, they don't charge that young gentleman, that brother that tried to probably stomp you out. So hopefully they drop charges on him too. Because I would probably want to stomp you out too if that was my family member. So yes,
Oh,
don't charge him. Do
absolutely.
the right thing.
I saw a lot of stuff online. I was like, if I was a guard, I might have to look the other way for a hot second. Like, oh,
I
I might
might
have
have
been a
joined
little bit,
in.
might have been a little bit slow to get to you. Like, oh no, wait, don't do that. Why are you stomping him out? Oh darn. I should probably do something.
I need
Son of a.
backup. Get a medic.
Uh, Guard Cooper, why didn't you act? Well, what happened was I saw bro going for him. I said, this looks fishy, but let me check and see if this is really a threat. And at the very moment he started stomping him out, I caught a Charlie horse. My leg locked up, just locked. I couldn't move, could not move right away. I'm so sorry that white boy got stomped out like that. But yeah, life without parole. But that again, don't like to go down the conspiracy theory rabbit hole too tough. But that sounded way too perfect. Way too perfect.
It probably was. I mean, who cares?
Um. Okay, I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. Why we care. The reason it matters is one of two things. One, and I'm going on the light side. One, um, he's not really sorry. That was written. That was written to try to prevent. That was written to satisfy and written to try to prevent something else from that to happen. But he's not actually sorry. That's one.
It's
Because
not
you
going to.
life without parole, you're not ever getting out.
Right.
So there's that. Or two, and this is going down the hole. It's further proof that all of this was planned. That dude is a plant. That this is all planned out.
Find out for who.
So, um, anytime there's a mass shooting, the undercurrent is, well, this is all false flag. Like I said, there's people outside of morons who just got sued. It was Sandy Hook was fake. Blah blah blah. It's people who really believe this is some elaborate scheme to get people to give up all their guns so the government can take over. So you know.
They could do that.
Oh,
Okay. That see now you're reaching. Bro, if they wanted to take your shit, they just take your shit. Like, there's nothing.
crisis actors. I'm still trying to find out where crisis actor school is, yo. Like I want to go. Like, how much do you make being a
I
crisis
don't,
actor?
because them blanks might be real for me, so I'm good. But other than that, yeah,
No,
nah.
no. See, the crisis actor allegedly is the cats that's on the scene. Oh my god, I can't believe it. Yo, anybody casting for the next fake disaster just saw my performance. I make a damn good crisis actor. But
Nah, you getting shot for real just for that.
yo,
But nah, this is.
but no, that's why that statement, sounds a little too perfect.
I don't take the guns. I don't care. He's going to be. He did what he did. It was
Mhm.
clearly out of hate. He made sure it was out of hate. There's bound to be a copycat eventually. Like, we're not gonna act like this is a glorious country that doesn't live off racism. So he's gonna be the
Right,
only one to do this. Like, come on, dog. But
right.
like, yeah, I don't care. I just want him to get stumped out before he went in there. That's all I wanted to happen.
It almost happened.
It almost happened, but they got
It
him.
almost happened. All
Almost.
right. So
Almost.
now we go across the globe, and earthquake,
Mm.
northern Syria and Turkey, and this is. Let me see. I'm trying to get a date on this. It's 15 hours ago. This is from DW, politics newsletter, and I remember it happened. Um, there was an earthquake in Syria and Turkey, two of them actually, 7.8 on February 6th. and then another one hit shortly after. And honestly, I was relieved initially because I heard about it. They said the death toll was like 3,000 and
Oh
five
no.
thousand.
Oh,
I'm like, okay, that's tragic as all get out. But given an earthquake in the middle of the night, 4 o'clock in the morning, it could have been much, much worse.
it
Well,
was.
as time has gone on, it has gotten much, much worse. We are
They're
now
like
talking,
25, 50,000 now.
we're at 41.
And that's they
35,
still counting.
30, 35 lives in Turkey, 6,000 in Syria. And those numbers, and I quote, have been raising by the hour. 13 million people in 10 cities have been affected. 33,000 buildings collapsed or severely damaged. 1 million people without shelter, living in tents or student dorms. And then there's, apparently greed is not limited to the capitalist capital, America. Um, there's talks that a lot of these buildings weren't up to code or were built like bullshit. So when
Mm,
the earthquake really did hit,
got him.
it's like, they weren't anywhere near strong enough.
Yeah, like New
And
Orleans. Yeah, gotcha.
well, New Orleans out with the levees, and that's a whole another
I'm just saying, if
thing.
you live, well, this the great thing, but I say if you live, I just say from here in this country, you live on the West Coast. Wouldn't it entice you to
Uh,
have buildings, stuff that are at least, earthquake, maybe not proof because ain't nothing,
mhm.
but stable enough, whatever was the term,
Well, where's the
for it,
thing?
or ready for it, or at least try to help.
Specifically, what went left here, according to regulations, I swear I can speak English. Regulations introduced in 2001, buildings had to be inspected by expert auditing firms. Makes sense. But until recently, auditing firms were selected and paid for by who? The contractors themselves. So I'm going to build a building. There's a firm that needs to inspect this building to make sure it's up to code. But I get to pick the inspector. So
Hmm.
what do you think I'm gonna do? I'm gonna pick an inspector that's gonna look at this fairly and let me know if I've done anything wrong.
Nah.
Yeah, right. So I'm gonna pay this inspector a few racks. And we're gonna get on about our business. And this is the tragedy that struck because of it. I agree, boy.
I mean, look what it's done here. You think it's
I
just a
mean, when you
sickness that lives in America? No, it's worldwide.
no, when you can't, because again, I go back to the conversation. That was literally like an hour and a half, 2 hour conversations with a buddy of mine. Um, when you can't do things for the good of man and you do things for the good of money, wealth, and riches, this is what you get. And everyone's default is, well, give me an example where socialism works. As if they're not smart enough to understand, as long as capitalism exists, socialism can never work. It has to be an all or none proposition. Because you can't have an instance where, you know, everyone has enough. But then you can look over here and say, well, how come this person has an 8 bedroom house? There are some flaws in human nature. And I think capitalism exploits it to the fullest. And this isn't necessarily capitalism, this is just plain old greed,
Yeah, that's one
which
of the sins.
capitalism feeds off. Yeah,
Yeah,
you're right. You're
this is one
totally
of the
right. I'm
sins
just
of the sins of man. We can't escape. We haven't evolved to that point yet.
how
Evolution is
do
very
you
slow. So, since it is, like I said, my thing is you don't even have to go full social if we go on this route. Like I said, there's a system where you can take all the good out of every one system that we run and combine it, and then it'll be fair. Like, this is not
Mhm.
hard. It's just, like I said, it's greed and power and control. As long as that is the main, money is the main point of survival, like I said, as long as we rely on that, then none of this is going to change.
Right. This
So
is just
until we get
this,
over the obsession with money and currency, this is what it's going to be.
it's like how do you sleep at night? Like I've never
24
approached
karat
that
gold
level.
bag. That's how you do it. But yeah.
I just never approached that. I don't have it in me to reach that level of heartlessness.
Have you reached that level of wealth?
No, I don't. Nor do I want to.
I'm about
Like
to
I don't
say, because
have.
if you do, would you think you'd be immune to not being sick and being greedy or whatever?
Okay.
If you reach that level of wealth, because you got to be cold blooded somehow to reach that level of wealth.
Yeah. I mean, or maybe there are exceptions to the rule.
And I mean,
The initial amassing of wealth, yes, but I give you an example. Um,
you gonna say Steph Curry?
Prince, no,
Oh,
Prince Harry. Now I get it. We're talking difference. This isn't wealth per se. This is an empire. Like he was born into the British Empire,
right.
but Harry and Meghan are not the colonizers their parents and parents' parents were. You see what I'm saying? That's one thing. There are people who are absolutely philanthropic. So the initial amassing of wealth, yeah, there's usually some exploitation. That's what I was also trying to explain in this conversation with my buddy. There's usually some exploitation involved. Um, I don't know about Oprah. I don't know about Tyler Perry, for instance. But I'm sure if I go combing through their supply chain somewhere, someone's getting exploited.
Of course.
But going forward, that's where it gets tricky. That's where the kids come in. Like you can't help it. You were born the child of a billionaire.
True. But if you keep it going, you're still doing the same thing.
Possibly, quite possibly so. But overall, you are correct. I do believe in what AOC said. Every billionaire is a failure of humanity. Period.
It is.
You can dress that up all day, but every billionaire is a failure of humanity because no one should be able to monopolize. No one person, no one conglomerate, no one entity should be able to monopolize resources to that degree. Period.
But that's capitalist. I mean, if
Yeah.
you wear the crown, you get everything.
Yeah.
Winner
Yeah.
takes
Yeah.
all. That's how the mentality is, and that's why we are forever screwed. Because it's usually all for one instead of one for all.
But I'm hoping that changes. And I'm not I may not be allowed to see it. Hopefully you will.
I doubt.
And if we well, I was just about to say, and if we don't believe that we are capable of change, then we truly are doing perpetual.
I mean, this is inevitable.
Maybe not. You gotta remember something. In the grand scope of time, America is only what 400 years old.
Hmm.
You look historically at other empires. Look at the Ottoman Empire. These other empires. These empires lasted thousands of years. We've literally seen the biggest shift in the world in a 20-year stretch from 1990 to 2010. If the entire world can change in 20 years,
But I've always told you, you agree with me. Ain't shit really changed outside
no,
of
no, no.
technology and all that stuff.
And that's the thing.
That's
That's what I mean.
technology. That's not people. That's not social skills. That's not greed. That's not
Well,
money. That's not none of that. None of that
or
has
TV.
changed.
Well, let me explain. I think it has to a certain degree. While the initial incentive might have been money, so to speak,
Still is.
realistically, the world in 2010 looks so different that the world in 1990 barely anything from 1990 barely exists at this point. All I'm saying is if we can have a seismic global shift, think about it. The thing that changed with
Technology.
tech, okay,
That's it. The mindsets, what we all clamor for, the the things that we care
the
about more than people, that's still here. It's just changed
well,
form.
hold on. The world, what the biggest, I think, one of the biggest changes, one of the biggest positives out of that, the world got smaller. We all got seen.
It's a negative.
Like
It's a double-edged sword. I hear you.
I'm thinking about this from a standpoint of people on our level. I didn't know about what's going on in China. We wouldn't know about the good things that are happening in other places on the globe. So has it changed the big powers that be? Not a lot, but they are not unaffected. Like looking at here, your generation. No, I'm not working for $9 an hour anymore. F y'all. And you can go online and find groups and find acceptance and find your tribe because you might live somewhere where no one gets you. So on a regular level, we're laying the seeds for revolutionaries. We're
Yeah,
laying the seeds for the people
and
who ain't gonna deal with the bullshit no more.
and
That's the
then
big takeaway.
that's the big takeaway, but that's a small fish because, like I said, the double-edged sword of social media is materialism and wanting to be like everyone else. There's no originality, and also I'm pretty sure there's no coincidence that the suicide rate went up as soon as social media took off. So we have a whole lot. It's a double-edged sword. There's some good, there's some give, and there's some take. There's a lot of
I think
bullshit
there's
out there, and there's a
I
lot.
think
But
there's
either way, I think the premise of what you're saying, or at least what I'm trying to say, is the mindset of humans have not changed.
I think it's
Technology has. Like I said, I agree with you. The world is a lot smaller, so you're exposed to a lot more. That is true. But in a weird, messed up way, I don't know if it's by design or it's just a flaw in us, or like we missed evolution. It's just like we're focused on the wrong things. Still, it's like
I,
we're not looking at the full picture. We're just focused on the things that you think that we need, though, but we don't.
okay. So I'm going to challenge you a little bit on that one. Why do you think that? Because I'll give you a little
I
runway.
think that's just. Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
I think the problem is, and this goes back to media in general, the internet is rogue. There, for the most part, until we start these dumbass community standards, there's no rules. You can say what you want and say what you will. So the only way to corral that is play with the algorithm. The bullshit gets pushed to the forefront. That's why you see the ignorance, the goofy shit, the nonsense, because the algorithm dictates that most ignorant, especially when it comes to folks who look like us, most ignorant of you, so we're gonna give a platform to. It's good. It takes a hell of a lot for those who think like me and you to get seen, because gotta keep the people. The easiest way to keep the people from rising up is to keep them distracted.
Distracted?
So I
Yeah.
think the bull. I don't think it's off. I think when we see what's getting pushed, say they're rap music, say they're black mainstream music, the bullshit gets the push. There's
Exactly.
plenty of good rap out there,
But
but you
that's
got dead. You
you
got
prove
dead.
you prove see, but that's you proving my point. I said the what you said because you made the argument because you proved my point because we made an argument. You said we should get rid of hip hop all in general, right? And I said we shouldn't because you can find the artists that you're looking for. That's not all bullshit. And but most people don't do that. Like I said, that's why I'm saying for whatever reason, we have the full map of the world, but we only look at a portion of it. Like that's
Mhm.
our all and all be all. I don't know why. It is partly by design, I agree. And then it's also, I guess, maybe, like I said, some of the Matrix has said the new Matrix. I don't know if you finished watching it yet. But, how do you control people? Through fear and desire.
Mm,
And we
that's
all
heavy.
fear not having money and not having this, that, and the third. We all desired having, the big house, the car, the dog, blah, blah, blah. Traveling the world. And how do you do that? You have to live by the rules. If you don't, if you
Mhm.
color outside the lines, you are an outlaw. And you'll
Right.
be dealt with, whether it's by the law literally or just people, normal people will eat you alive for being
Mhm.
different. We see this all the time.
Absolutely.
Someone steps out on social media that does something a little different that's against the grain, everyone will eat them alive.
Mhm.
It's
But
like I said, the agents are us. Well, not us, but
ooh,
that's us. The government has nothing to do with this. We're our own agents. We have the key. We lock ourselves in our own cells, and we have the key, but we refuse to use it.
well, that's what. And you have to, as now we got matrix quotes. You have to understand, most of these people are not ready to be unplugged.
That's my point. That's why I said the mindset from 1990, from when you were born, from whatever, has not really changed. It's the same. At our core, we are all still the same. Technology
I,
has made things broaden so you can see the whole picture, but we refuse to see it.
and again, I think that goes back to what do you, not you specifically, what do you see? Because once I decided to clean up my algorithm, I only follow things that concern me. My outlook is a lot different. And my outlook reflects my inward ideology. You know me.
I got you. You
You know what I
follow who
mean?
you
So
follow, but you also said there's people fewer in between that are like us. The mass majority, that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the numbers based. The mass majority still believes in this bullshit. All of it. Like
I don't
if
know.
you because people have done social experiments, all this out the woo or whatnot, and it's so predictable and it's sad. You got one, like I said, I seen one whatever person holding up a sign that says, "I got anxiety, blah blah blah. I can use a hug or someone just to talk to." No one pays him mind, right? He flips the sign over, it has free money. Guess what everybody comes to? Grab the money and walk away. That's the mindset that majority of people have. It's not about
I'm
it's not about me or the other person and what I can do to help people. It's about let me help my what can I do to help me
I
first.
think once my generation is gone, you'll see a totally different world.
That's that's
Because my generation is that bridge generation between the old world, old school bullshit and your generation that is not with the shits. Like I said, it blows me out. I'm in my mid 40s and I hear these folks, I know people with grandkids now. It's kind of wild, but they sound like their parents. And one thing I have not done is become my parents because my parents being born in the 50s, I was sharp enough to figure out, like, I got older. I was like, yo, a lot of this shit don't make no sense. And you'd be hard pressed to honestly find what you're, well, besides me, of course, but people my age, you'd be hard pressed if you really analyze it. As I said, a lot of things from that world is dead. I remember it was always look a man in the eye and have a firm handshake and goofy shit like that.
it's still like that. But I hear you. But
Bro, you can interview you. I interviewed for a job, didn't even see a person. It was a recording.
wow, that's crazy.
Right. We don't even. I had
I
to.
ain't never did.
I recorded my interview. We
Yeah.
firm handshake. We ain't shaking nobody's hand. It's COVID, dog. I don't know what you got.
That's cool. That's not because that's not a thing anymore. But yeah, I got
But it's not a thing anymore. And especially amongst the black community, when the last time you gave somebody a real handshake? Give each other a pound. So a lot of this, we just don't.
you. Give that. I'm saying
Right, like it was just a firm handshake for what? I ain't shake your hand, b. Like a lot of that bullshit we was taught don't apply. And the issue we have here, the reason why some of your generation is screwy, is because there's still a healthy amount of folks my age trying to hold on to that goofy shit. Every time I say it, it ain't like how it used to be. That's the point. That's the whole point. It's not supposed to be.
no, it's supposed to
Unpopular.
evolve. Yeah, it's supposed to evolve. It gets better by each generation. That's supposed to happen, but still got bullshit that's happening now with this newer generation. I don't know. But either way, I
All
mean,
I'm saying is I firmly believe it's not. I think we're programmed. I hate to use the word. It's just what we're shown is see how fucked up it is. And I don't believe it's like that. It's like I said, it's a lot of people who found their tribe because of social media. There's a lot of people who don't feel ostracized.
well, I said it's a
So,
double-edged sword. I'm not on the camp to say social media is all bad. No, I'm
mm,
just saying everything comes at a price, and all of it is not good. So it's a double-edged
mm,
sword. You take the good with the bad. Hopefully, the good outweighs the bad, but I'm not so sure.
yeah, we'll see. And speaking of social media, high five to social media on this one. So I'm tell you a little story. When I finally got into the NBA as a kid, like everybody else, shout out to Nike, Phil Knight, and you losers. for, like I said, Michael Jordan is the greatest media creation we've ever seen. Um,
He is.
I was a Michael Jordan head. I was a Michael Jordan diehard. But then my rebellious nature kicked in, and it was, oh, everybody, want to be a Michael Jordan, ride Michael Jordan nuts. I'm good. I'm good on that. So my favorite player for a good long time, Karl Malone, big,
That's
strongest player you've ever seen.
that's bad.
Um, Power forward, greatest power forward that ever lived, at least in my opinion.
No,
Because he,
nobody is.
because Tim Duncan is a power forward, he's a damn center.
No,
But
Tim
anywho,
Duncan's better. Sorry. Go ahead.
ain't no way,
Giannis is
ain't
better
no,
too.
ain't no
There you go.
way.
Giannis is better too. So there you go. Exactly.
Is Giannis a 4 or 5?
He's on
But anywho,
4.
okay, okay.
Yeah,
What
you
is he
see,
on
you
NBA
trying to
two?
see, but you
What
know
is
they're
he? What
better
is he
than him.
on?
But you just
What
trying
is
to
he?
change their
What is he
position.
on? What is
Look
he on
at you.
2K?
Look at you. You look
On
at you.
NBA 2K. On NBA 2K, is he a 4 or 5?
He's a 4.
Oh, that's because Brook Lopez is there. Okay.
Oh my God.
But anywho, anywho.
See, he knows they're better. He's just trying to change their position to keep his. Let's stop defending this pitiful. Go ahead.
No, but Carmelo is my favorite player for a good long while. Um, and then the internet happened, and come to find out, Karl Malone is a pedo. And in true star athlete pedo fashion, it was all covered up. Because how in the hell else can you get a 13-year-old pregnant? So, present day, Karl Malone is a walking piece of shit.
That's
I
like
don't care if he's
yeah.
number 3 all time in scoring. You're still a walking piece of filth.
Yes.
Okay. And the All Star game this year is where? Salt Lake City.
Hmm.
So somebody had the brilliant idea to say, hey, let's make Karl Malone a slam dunk contest judge. It'll be nostalgic, bring it all back. I mean, shit, while you at it, why don't you go dig up John Stockton's goofy ass? You used to love John Stockton. Then he went off the deep end.
What do you do?
Oh, John Stockton went off the deep end when it came to the jab, talking about, I've got, I know there's thousands of players that just drop dead on the court or on the field.
Hey, what?
What are you talking? Yeah. John Stockton went on. John Stockton is a legend. He knows of thousands of players that just drop dead on the field or on the court. Okay, where, John?
Because they didn't or did?
Because they did.
Because they did.
Yeah.
They did.
Mm-hmm. And we like, yo, listen, John.
Wait, so
he's.
I'm sorry. He's anti-vax.
Yeah.
Oh.
But I'm like, bruh, you out here talking about you the reason people's accounts be getting flagged. Like, bruh, ain't no thousands of athletes just suddenly dropping dead.
Not thousands.
If
probably,
it was,
couple 100, maybe 100.
Probably ain't. I mean, I'm probably ain't that. But the bottom line is, you out here in these streets, you out here on Robin Rihanna Fenty's internet, talking about, I got thousands of athletes. Dog, stop. Because now you on the other side.
He is. That's exaggeration, but stuff is happening.
That's super exaggeration, especially when it's like, well, where are the receipts, John?
It's an exaggeration.
Exactly, crickets. Exactly.
I mean, there is receipts. Like I said, I showed you video of multiple athletes just dropping and having heart attacks out of nowhere. But that's never here or there. Plus, the CDC and all them motherfuckers are basically coming out and saying this whole thing's bullshit. So, I mean, whatever. We're past that. Go ahead.
I think I'm gonna let it go.
You've been lied. We got him. But go ahead.
Yeah, so Karl Malone, who abandoned one kid, who impregnated a 13-year-old, not sure that's the same kid, is pretty much a piece of shit. And they decided to let him be a slam dunk contest judge. And I'm just like, y'all I think that one through. So social media, being the jewel that it is, went and dug up all the receipts. Ain't no way. This is gonna be one of two things, because Utah is Mormon country, right? So, and home to like 12 black people, Karl Malone being one of them. Jokes aside, though, I got two options. I don't think he's going to be there. I don't think he's gonna. I No, 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 no. They're going to take too much heat, and Adam Silver gives a shit. Hell no,
Then why would you invite? This isn't
because
new
you because
knowledge.
um
We've known about this for a while.
Adam, bro, Karl Malone been retired for since I think before Adam Silver was even commissioner.
That's fine, but
So
this is public knowledge.
is it? Because you had
Yes,
to dig
I found
Lotso
out
had
about
no
this
idea.
like a couple years ago.
Right, a couple years ago. Ain't that public? A couple years ago.
Yeah, I'm saying that's
And clearly the good folks in Salt Lake thought it was gonna be an idea to bring back this NBA legend.
he's a legend on the court, but
You
off the
trash
court,
off it. My vote. I don't think he'll be there. I think they're gonna replace him.
he's
There's
gonna
no
be there.
way. There's
He's gonna
no
be there.
way.
He's gonna be
You
there.
cannot. Can. There's no way.
Wasn't he at the top 75 thing? Was he not there? I'm pretty
I'd
sure
have
he was
to.
there.
Good. That's a good question. I'd have to
I'm
check.
pretty sure he was there. So
I'd have
if
to check.
he showed up for that, why wouldn't he show up the judge?
You know what? That's the question of questions because I don't think he was there.
Well, I don't know. I'm just saying I thought he was there. I mean, I'm not checking for, Mr. Mailman with a lollipop in his back giving it to kids, but no.
Yeah. That's
Like,
lame-o.
oh, don't have
But
no kids on the floor seats then.
I don't think he's gonna be there because remember he pop split to Vanessa Bryant.
He done a lot of trash shit. He's a piece of shit, not just
So I'm
because of
like,
that. He done other stuff. So I was like,
yeah,
yeah,
he
yeah,
more
yeah.
heinous. Like, come on, bro. So yeah, but yeah, I don't think he's gonna be there. And if he is there, if he is there,
He probably
oh,
get booed.
I cannot wait to see if they boo or not.
Well,
Because
they might not if he's the owner, if he's the
Because now
owner.
we, because
So
now we
yeah.
start thinking about Utah and what makes up Utah and Mormons and their polygamy and marrying.
Okay, so yeah, right. So now you going down that rabbit hole.
I'm just saying. I'm not saying.
I,
I'm just saying.
I don't want to. I'm not watching this anyway. But either way, but yeah, that's
Hey, the dunk contest has been whacked for years,
not
honestly.
since 2016. That was the greatest one of all
Like,
time.
unless you're gonna somehow find a way to defy gravity and dunk upside down, there really ain't a whole lot more we can do.
We just want to see stars. That's what we really want.
That's the other thing. Like, and right now, I don't know.
My
Hey, I'm like,
dream.
let me think. Giannis.
I don't want to see us. I want to see Zion, Ja.
How would you not want to see Giannis in a dunk contest, sir? What's wrong with
I
you?
don't see because it takes creativity. He's a 7 footer, so it's kind of hard to be
Sean Kemp,
creative.
anyone?
He wasn't
Okay,
7 foot.
he's 6'10".
I mean,
Like,
Sean Kemp in his prime, I'm pretty sure jumped higher than Giannis. Not saying he's more athletic, but he might be. Sean Kemp was a monster.
we talking about certified dunkers. Giannis,
No,
Zion, of course,
I
John
want some
Morant.
smaller, like I said, Zion, Ja, Anthony Edwards. Hell, you can bring back Levine and Aaron Gordon. And well, I would say LeBron, but he kind of up there, so I don't think he
Yeah,
want to.
LeBron ain't gonna do. I mean,
It's too
like,
late. It's too
I
late.
don't. I wonder. It'd be good to see like in a classic division, see if Blake Griffin still got ups.
I doubt it. Not like he used to. He don't
This
even
cat
want
is
dunk in
coming
the
off the.
game, so I doubt he want dunk in the dunk contest.
This cat is coming off the Celtics bench. That's how deep they are. But
I don't know if it's that deep. He's just not that great anymore. But yeah, like I said, I would love to see a 1v1 contest, but I know that's never gonna happen.
mm,
That's what
that
I
would be
want to
dope.
see. A
2-1-2
1v1
at least.
or
Because that was
king of
gonna
the
be 1v1,
court
one, two on
or
two.
king of the court, something. Like with the stars, the all stars. Not don't give me some role players, no disrespect to y'all. But stars. But I know they're not gonna do that because that's pride on the line. And if you lose that, NBA Twitter's
Yeah,
gonna eat.
I love to
Oh,
see some two. Not 1-on-1, 2-on-2. I love to see some 2-on-2.
why 2-on? I'd rather see 1-on-1. Why 2-on-2? Because you basically
Cause,
just play
cause
5-on-5.
nope, 2-on-2 duos.
I don't
Let's
want
see,
to. I don't want
yeah,
to.
let's see that.
I want 1v1. I want to see
Let's
Kyrie
see.
versus Steph. I want to see,
It's gonna be
LeBron versus KD. I want to see all that. 1v1. Let's
cause
go.
it's gonna be it's gonna be too uneven.
How?
Like I'd rather see LeBron AD versus BI and Zion. Like I'd rather see 2-on-2 than one on
I
one.
don't want to see that because they going to get cooked. But nah.
Who gonna get cooked?
Zion and which one and
BI?
Yeah.
Have you paid attention how Barrett ain't even been balling out lately? But anyhow,
Yeah, yeah, he got clamped up last night. Yeah, yeah.
okay.
Well,
But all right, let's let's, let's run it back here. Starting from the top, in the words of Chuck D, can't trust it. I'm so sorry. You can't tell me you don't know the level of contamination in one hand and be like, no, but you're good though. On the other hand, no, no. To everyone in Ohio, a joke. That's not a joke. I really hope your DNA doesn't mutate anytime soon. Like that's just wild. That's just wild. Um, or one shot to the head or complete decapitation. Double tap might be. Hopefully that doesn't become handy information, but just in case you forgot, figure out remind you all. Just yeah. Um, Sincere condolences to the young lady. I didn't get her name, but you have survived not one but two of the worst, two mass shootings, and one of the worst school shootings in history in Sandy Hook. I don't know how you do it. I sincerely hope you leave this country for your own sanity and your own peace, because this ain't it. This two in your lifetime, this ain't it, and I feel horrible. Um, Buffalo shooter, you ain't never gonna see a light of day again, and I sincerely suggest you watch your ass when you get locked up. But that statement is really shaky to me. That just seems like a really prepared statement, and I just personally don't believe you're sorry. I could be wrong. I don't believe you're sorry. I just don't.
yeah.
To the people in Turkey and Syria, may we send all the aid in everything that we can possibly send. I couldn't imagine, and to those who created those shitty buildings on purpose, I don't know how you sleep in that. Because if you made those buildings up to code, you literally could have saved some lives. But greed, right? And last but not least, the mailman. No more deliveries. Go home for good. And if you're smart, you're gonna respectfully decline. You're gonna respectfully decline because if you don't, all of this is gonna come to light for real.
it's already.
For that ain't at the tip of anybody's tongue. That is not information that is at the tip of anybody's tongue. That is a long forgotten thing. But you done brought your ass out from underneath your hole wherever you at, and like you must got no people. Or you pulling a Trump, you got people and not listening to them because ain't no way. Oh wow, thanks for thinking about me, guys. I think I'm gonna pass though. But here you
I
go.
don't care.
Your recap, sir.
Yeah, Ohio, mini Chernobyl. Yeah, if y'all live anywhere close to that, don't listen to that, please. Please, if you can, get the hell out of there. I don't
Right.
trust that. Like I said, if everything else is dying around you, that might not be human, but still breathes air, it'd be a problem. It's sad. Brought to you by Kane. Girl, in the two mass shootings, yeah, I said I recommend Canada or somewhere else. You know, yeah, somewhere else. This is lightning strike twice in a bottle, and you were still lucky enough to make it out. I wouldn't test fate a third time. Just saying.
Mm.
And yeah, light one up. Um, small stuff like weed, not nothing crazy. Um, Buffalo shooter, yeah, I don't care about your damn statement. I don't care if you were sorry or not. You still did it out of hate and filmed it. So there's that. I just wish the guards would just let the young gentleman, the brave man, stomp him out for at least a couple minutes, and then we'll be good. Life would have been great because it might not be his last stomp out anyway. Um, Earthquakes, yeah, that's a scary thing. Rest in peace to all those people out there. And jeez, I can only imagine earthquakes. Yeah. And Karl Malone, yeah, he's still a piece of shit. Ain't nothing much else to say about that.
Well, thank you all for tuning in yet again. This is awesome as always. We got movies coming. We got Ant-Man coming down the pipe. See what was there after. We got Creed coming down the pipe.
Got
I'm
a good
looking forward to
score.
both of them.
Around
Yeah, looking
tomatoes
forward
for him, man.
looking forward
But
to
we'll
both
see.
of them. Yeah, yeah. We got the Flash trailer was bananas. Ezra Miller's a special person, but the Flash trailer was bananas.
Ain't more than
I'm
special.
looking forward to that. So yeah, we got some summer movies is on the roll. Still no good horror coming out of Hollywood, but what else is new?
Man, we live life. That's horror enough. So that's probably they're giving us a break. But yeah,
There you go. Oh yeah, things we might touch on because we have a little time under our belt next time. Kevin Durant is in Phoenix now. Kyrie is in Dallas now. NBA is crazy. I might now I have to redo my picks because, like I said, I had the hallway series and I had Philly and Brooklyn. I'm still 25% right. Still 25% right.
yeah, that's real.
Philly's still going to make the Eastern Conference Finals because it's just position. Philly, Boston, Milwaukee. One of them is going to play the other at some point. So, and depending on how the seedings go. So I'm like, yeah, I still got Embiid playing with a chip on his shoulder and
Okay.
Harden with something to prove in the playoffs. So
Let's
I'm
hope it
still
doesn't actually chip.
25% right.
Let's hope it's short doesn't actually chip and he plays, and then let's hope Harden remembers that is still the regular season in his head, not the postseason, so he plays the same. So yeah,
I think we're gonna get shades of Houston Harden.
that's not
We get
good.
shades of we get
That's
shades of Houston.
that's what we don't want. we need we need a new version of Harden to play. So we need a version, then they ain't going nowhere. So yeah, don't listen to him on be evolved. We need the new one. We don't need the old one.
But everyone out there, as always, thank y'all for tuning in on behalf of my awesome co-host and the Yeah I Said It podcast. Peace.
Yeah,